Hello, everybody, to a Nitro truck race. A little different. We are allowed to do a couple lower series races, and I decided to do triple duty this weekend and do the trucks and the Xfinity race out of Iowa. So this race is only 100 laps. And like I've said in the Cup race, I really enjoy Iowa, so I was hoping for a good result today. And we had a decent qualifying effort for P3 today, and we are coming to the green for the start of the race here. I was driving the 16 since all my KBM trucks were occupied by my army of Toyota drivers, I guess you can say. And obviously a lot of different names because of a different series with some familiar names as well. There's a couple Cup guys in here, but... started third. Second is Jeb the Awesome, who is a truck driver in his rookie Nitro campaign, I guess you can say, and also Kermit, my teammate in the fourth, who's been pretty impressive, and very happy I found him and got him into my truck. But yeah, pretty calm start. Moved into the second pretty quick here, and we're coming to lap 6. But and Kermit exits the turn. He gets really tight on the exit, and I'm able to pass him down the front straightaway after he hits the wall. He fights back on the inside here a little bit, but just not enough grip on the exit there. So at this point, kind of settled in for a little bit, but in a lap or two here, Kermit makes another charge off turn 4 here. He gets a nice little bit. He gets a teeny bit of a run, and he's closing in on me. He looks to the inside a bit. I give him the room, give him the lane, but I kind of pinch him a little bit, make sure he can't get a good run off the bottom here, and he just couldn't stick it very well down there. And yeah, it was kind of weird. The Cup race, the outside was really good, but a lot of people were on the bottom for this. I think it's because of the less power in the trucks. So yeah, so we jump up to like lap 17 or something, and then we had a caution. Something happened in the back of the race, so going to the restart for 5 to go in the stage. I should have mentioned stages are 25, 25, 50. So we're going to restart with 5 to go in the stage, and I get a nice jump for 5 to go in the stage. And yeah, I felt pretty good at this point about winning the stage, just because my short run speed was surprisingly good for the preset I ran. In the trucks, I think I ran 6, if I recall correctly. And here we come to the last lap of the stage, and you can see I have a small gap. Libert was pretty fast. Libert's a Cup driver, and he was making one of his starts. This is my final truck start of the season, so you won't be able to see any more truck videos from me probably. But we come around and win stage 1 of this race. So we had a terrible pit stop on the stage break here, and lost a ton of spots, and I think some people took 2. So here we are for the start of stage 2, and I knew some people were a little slower and probably took 2 tires and stuff. So have a good exit here, and then the 45 of Lazy, who's an Xfinity driver this season, had a pretty bad exit off turn 2, and he's able to slow up Libert a little bit. And I'm able to get on his inside and gun it really hard there and actually get a nice run. Then Houdat Nation, who's also one of my Xfinity drivers, was in this race, and he was struggling a little bit. But I think he took 2 on that start as well. And then all of a sudden, me and Kermit are back to 1 and 2 here. And I get a nice run down the back here and off turn 2. And then I decided to go up a lane just to see what's up there. And this was like the only time I started running the high side just to see if there was anything up there. And it turns out there was, because lap 35, I really sent it near the wall here. And I was getting really nice runs here off the exit of the turn. And I get a really big run here. So coming to lap 36 here, I come to and look into the inside of Kermit here. And he pitches hard, but all good and clean. And I'm able to get actually a really good exit here and be able to jump him here down the back straightaway. And just hold the bottom and cover it off. And it gives me a little nudge there to try to move me up a little bit, but I'm able to exit the turn good enough and take the lead again on lap 37. Now we're jumping up to lap 41. You're going to see Kermit and Libert here are battling pretty hard for a second, I believe. Those are the 2. I know Libert's definitely on the inside there. And yeah, you can see the gap isn't getting much bigger. The speeds were pretty equal between like the top 3 or 4 guys, so it was pretty hard to pull away, to say the least. So we're just going to be jumping up to near the end of the stage here. This is the last lap of the stage, I believe. And you can see Libert's starting to close in a little bit, but just not enough time for him to get there in the by the end of the stage. But we come around and we are going to sweep the stages in the Iowa Truck Race. And then once again, we come in the pit, and my pit crew kind of lets me down again because I come out P2, so I decided to take the outside just to stay on the front row. And we get going, get a okay start. It's kind of hard when you're you're on the opposite lane of the leader because he can just go when he wants, and usually you get jumped pretty bad. But here we go, and we get a nice run off turn 2, and we're able to clear Kermit as well. And I decided, you know what, let's keep it up on the high side, see if we can get one of those runs like we did in stage 2 to get the lead from Kermit. So Kermit gets a nice exit there, but just not enough, and a little contact. Nothing wrong there, but yeah, we're just rolling on that outside, and we were able to get even with Liberty, which pretty much just seals the deal. At this point, I knew, I was like, okay, we're pretty good at this point, since if you can just get even with them, it's really hard for the guy on the inside to hold it down there, especially on the exit, because you have to turn the wheel so much more. And then we are able to get the lead back on lap 56. And then, yeah, and then at this point, I was just hoping my speed on the long run would be a little better, because Libert seemed to be better on the long run. So we jumped up to lap 62, and you can see he's still hanging around 3/10, but me and Libert at this point are pulling away from everyone, and it was basically a 2-man race unless a caution came out. And here we come to lap 69. Nice. And you can see Libert still just hanging around, and he's closing in a teeny bit, but it was ebbing and flowing. Like, I would pull 2/10 a lap, and then he would gain 2/10, and it was a cat and mouse game, basically, I guess you can say. In lap 73, he is there, and I kind of cut him off a little bit. It hits me out the track. That's kind of my fault, but I keep it in the gas. And he gets a good exit here. And he actually led this lap, but I'm going to fight hard on the outside to get it back. So I send it off into turn 1 and gun it as early as I think I can. And then I'm going to get a really good exit here off turn 2 and clear him once again. And with 6 laps in the tank, Libert probably thinks he can't really pass me without undercutting. So he pits earlier than me, so I know at this point he's going to get the lead with how much we've fallen off. So I go super long. I extend it as far as I can before I pit. So I'm coming in with only 2 laps of gas left. So, and I get a nice exit. Somehow don't speed because it looks like I was 43. And I decided to take 4 tires, and you can see Libert just pulled about a second and a half here, I believe. I believe I got like 1.7 seconds, if I recall correctly. So I knew I had some ground to make up, and I felt okay that I would make it up, just because the few lap extra tires. And fresher tires, and we will just run them down. But we come up to lap 90 here, and I've only got it down to 1 second. I was a little worried at this point because I wasn't gaining that much time, but all of a sudden it's like a switch flipped, and I started gaining quite a bit. As you can see, I gained a 10th there, and I think the lap traffic here helped because I didn't really get halted up by them. I caught them at good times, but you can see like Libert there, he couldn't get the best entry there, and he also couldn't really get the best exit. So I gained 3/10 that lap alone, and then we come to lap 94, and I am now on Libert's bumper. I have ran him down, and now I have gone to the outside to see if I can get a run like I did earlier in the race. And just hopefully I can get a big enough run down the back to make a move. But I lost a little ground in the center of that turn. So just fighting hard. And at this point, I knew it was going to be tough. But I get a huge run this time, but not big enough. But we're going to jump up to lap 96. And got a little tight in the center there. But Libert hits the apron and he slides up a little bit. And this is my time to pounce. And he's going to let me have the outside. So I'm just going to full send it on the outside and try to stick it as well as I can. But he has a pretty good bottom here. And he is actually going to be able to clear me. But I'm going to go for an aggressive move. Slide it all the way to the bottom. Libert goes to block. There's contact. I go flying through grass, but I keep it in. But I keep it in the throttle. And I guess we have a pass in the grass for the lead because I'm able to clear Libert. But he's going to fight back on the outside and try to keep it on the outside. And he gets a nice little run down the back on the outside. And so we go down into turn 3. Now the roles are reversed where he's on the outside and I'm in the inside. But I'm able to send it in a little harder than him and eventually clear him. off turn 4, but he's going to fight back because he got the run. Coming to 3 to go, and he's on the outside, and he's going to try to use the outside to get by me, but he lets off a little earlier to see if he can get a good exit, and he is going to get a pretty good exit, yeah, it was getting pretty intense at this point, and then he goes into turn 3. He gives me a little bump. He slides me up the track, and I'm going to try to pinch him as hard as I can. And coming to 2 to go, and we are side by side for the lead in this race. And since we're cup drivers, I mean, it's checkers or wreckers, right? We're not fighting for points or anything, so we're just trying to win the race, and we are still side by side. I get a nice run off the back, down the back straightaway, and I finally clear Libert. But I decided to keep it up high because I knew he was probably going to dive it in pretty hard into 3. And here we come to the white flag, and Libert just can't get the grip off the turn 4 there, and I get a nice little gap here, so I decided to go back to the bottom. Libert goes full sends, but he just can't get to the bumper, and he gets tied off in turn 2, and we are going to get a nice gap and a pretty good safety net at this point. And at this point, I felt pretty confident we were going to win the race because I knew he couldn't dive it that hard. And we are going to come off turn 4, and we are going to win the Iowa truck race. And that was a fantastic battle with me and Libert. That was really, really fun, and we were both laughing and having a good time after the race. So, yeah, I really enjoyed that race, and it felt good to win again. It always feels good to win no matter what series it is. So, it's my 20th truck win, I think. The stats are a little unknown, but I think it's 20 for me, so I was really happy with the result, and yeah, happy we won. So if you guys enjoyed it, you can feel free to like and subscribe. It would be appreciated, and you can watch these Nitro races live on my Twitch channel. And I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.